Today is 3rd of December 2010. Bhavana or meditation is the essence of the teachings of the Buddha. So Bhavana is defined as a culture or developments. So the true sense of this word Bhavana is to remove unwholesome thoughts or evil states, evil mental states, and to cultivate wholesome thoughts or wholesome mental states. The purpose is to produce a calm mind, a peaceful mind. When the mind becomes calm and peaceful, then it's able to concentrate well. So when meditators could concentrate the mind well on the objects of meditation for a period of time, then meditators could attain deep concentration. Meditators may attain concentration such as neighborhood concentration, then absorption concentrations in samatha meditation or concentration meditation, or momentary concentration or khanika samadhi that should be attained by vipassana meditators or in vipassana meditations. So that concentration, momentary concentration will give rise to insight knowledge, insight knowledge that realizes the true nature of existence, or in other words, the three common characteristics of mental and physical phenomena. So when vipassana meditators could make progress from one stage of insight knowledge to next stage of insight knowledge, then eventually meditators may come to realize the path knowledge. So that path knowledge has the function to uproot the latent defilements and attain cessation of suffering. So this is the ultimate aim of practicing meditation or bhavana as taught in the teachings. So in brief, the ultimate aim of bhavana is to attain purification of mind or purity of mind. The peace of this world depends very much on our mind. If your inner world, in other words, your mind is peaceful, free from all defilements, then the outer world will also become peaceful. So meditation is the work or the jobs of every man or everyone in this world. So even the leaders of the world knew the importance of mind. So that's why in the UNESCO, the preamble of the UNESCO chapter states that since wars begin in the minds of man, it's in the minds of man that the defenses of peace must be constructed. So the leaders of the world knew that the war in this world begin in the mind of the man. So to defend the peace of the world, that defense also should begin in the mind. This is what the preamble of the UNESCO chapter states. But unfortunately, the leader of the world they try to bring peace to the world through war. So you may see that there are war in other countries, and the leaders try to end the war by another war. So we should be wise to follow the right leaders. So do you know whom we should follow? So if you do any recollections of Buddha or Buddhanussati, you may come across these chief attributes, Anuttaro Purisa Dhamma Sarati. The meaning is incomparable leader of man to be tamed. So if one wants to tame the world, first one must be able to tame his mind or her mind. So the Samma Sambuddha had tamed his mind, then he became this incomparable leader of the man to tame others. So if everyone expects peace in the society or in the country, in the world, then one should be heedful to his teaching. If everyone in any society, in any country, could spend some time to cultivate the mind, then that society, that country will become more peaceful to the extent of the progress in mental culture. It is because in any society, any country consists of all the individuals.
All the
individuals is because any society or any country consists of every individuals. So all these individuals will do various kinds of actions that may affect oneself and may affect others. And all these actions begin from the mind. So if everyone knows how to mindful of their mind, then the actions will not cause suffering pain to others, or to oneself, or to both. So having said that, this evening we shall discuss two of the Dhammapada verses. So in this Dhammapada verse, the Buddha said, whatever an enemy might do to an enemy, or a foe to a foe, the ill-directed mind can do to you even worse. Whatever a mother, father, or other kinsman might do for you, the well-directed mind can do for you even better. So have you ever pondered that whatever happiness, suffering, all because of the mind?
all the happiness.
Whatever happiness, or have you ever pondered that whatever happiness or suffering or experience by you is all due to the mind? If the mind is ill-directed, then you may experience pain, suffering. If the mind is well-directed, then you may experience happiness, all kinds of welfare or well-being. So even in the mind, one can create a karma. So sometimes some people, or even sometimes some Buddhists, uh, do not believe that mind can create karma. So that in every Dhammapada there's a story. So during Buddha times, there was this man by the name of Soriya. He's married with 2 sons. One day, he saw noble ones, Mahakachayana. He's an arahant. So the noble one was adjusting his robes. The noble one was adjusting his robes about to go to the village to collect alms food. So this arahant Mahakachayana is a noble one with a golden complexion. The story says that he had a golden complexion. Then a thought arose in the mind of Soriya. The thought is that how I wish the Tara were my wife, or else that the complexion of my wife were like that of this monk. So as these thoughts arose in him, suddenly his sex changed from man to a woman. So you can see how the work of karma, especially if the objects of karma is a noble one. So now he became Lady Soriya. So now we should say she, or in English grammar she becomes she. She was ashamed, so she ran away from his village. So she went to another city, Taxila, with a group of people. There, in the city of Taxila, she was introduced to another young man. So this young man found that Lady Soriya was beautiful, so decided to marry her. So this is what we call attachment. It's another attachment. So as a Lady Soriya, she gave birth to 2 sons. So when she was a man, as a father, she had 2 sons, and now she's the mother of another 2 sons. So one day, one of his friends came to this Taxila city. She recognized these friends. Friends. So she recognized these friends, but these friends could not recognize her. So Lady Soriya told him what had happened to her. Then his friend advised her to find this noble one and ask for forgiveness or ask pardon. So she managed to find the noble one and invited him to come to her house for alms food. So after the noble one had finished eating the alms food, then she explained to the noble one what had happened to her. It was due to his wrong thoughts, his sex changed to a woman, and she asked for forgiveness. So as soon as the noble one, Mahakachayana, said, "Get up, I forgive you," her sex now changed back to the man again. So in one life or existence, her sex was changed from man to woman, now change back to man again. So he was disgusted with the life. So he decided to renounce and ordain as a monk. So now he's a monk. So his brother in the monkhood like to ask him these questions. His brother in the monkhood. There means other monk, other bhikkhu who like to ask him this question. And they ask him, whom do you love more? The two sons you had as a father, or the two sons you had as a mother? So do you know which two sons he loved more?
เดาสิคะ
Mother. Yes. He said the love of those born of the womb was greater. So, but he was ashamed also because other monks like to ask him this question so often. So he decided to strive diligently. In other words, to meditate. So eventually he also attained enlightenment, arahantship. So after the attainment of arahantship, when he was asked again the same question, then he said that he had no more affections towards anyone. So other monks thought that he's telling lie. So they brought this matter to the Buddha. And the Buddha said that he's not telling lies, or he's telling the truth, because now he has realized arahantship. He has no more affections or attachments for anyone. So the Buddha said, by his well-directed mind, he has brought about to himself a well-being or welfare which neither the father or the mother can bestow on him or give to him. So this well-directed mind, no one can give it to you. You yourself have to strive. What the mother, father, or relatives can do for their relatives, or what the mother, father can do their children, mostly bacterial happiness. Mother, father may to certain extent control the speech or the deeds of their children to the certain extent. But what is in the mind, in the mind of the children, the mother, father cannot control over it. Similarly, whatever arising in your mind, others cannot have any control over it. The children may due to dissatisfactions, sometimes due to dissatisfactions, they may have anger or they may have ill will. So the parents cannot have control over these thoughts of ill will. So one thinks good or thinks evil, all depends on oneself. So sometimes some people thought whatever thoughts arising in the mind, there's no karma involved. For example, thoughts of ill will, or in other words, wishing harm or cursing the mind. So this is one of the unwholesome mental karma. So sometimes some people thought this cursing or wishing harm does not involve any karma. They thought that if they wish harm, for example, wish that person met an accident, then it does not happen. Then there's no karma. But when one wishes harm or one curse in the mind, that is defilement, or one is defiled by anger or hatred. So if one always wishes harm, wishes others being harmed by others, eventually he also worried about his own safety, worried that he may be harmed by others. So if a person always wishes harm, then the result is that he also fear of his own safety or her own safety, or he is also fear being harmed by others. So there will always this fear in his mind. But if that person cultivate a wholesome mental state, for example, he develop thoughts of loving kindness or wishing others be free from danger, then do you think this person would have fear that he's being harmed by others? So your happiness, your fear, your suffering, all experienced by the mind. So if you want to be free from fear, free from pain, free from suffering, then you have to purify your mind through mental cultivation or mental development. So when the mind is purified, then one would not think of any evils. So when there's no evil thoughts, then one would not commit any evil speech or evil deeds. So if everyone in any society or any country would put forth some effort to cultivate the mind, to develop the mind, then that person will contribute to this world a great gift.
Great gift.
A great gift. So it's because when one develops the mind, when one cultivates the mind, then when the mind is purified, one will not commit evil, then others would feel safe to be with you. So even before one could attain any stage of enlightenment, when one cultivates the mind, then the tendency to do evil becomes less and less. Then the world becomes more and more peaceful and safe to live. So that's why the ultimate aim of meditations is purification of mind or purity of mind. So that's why we always emphasize be mindful of the mind. So to make progress in vipassana meditation, mindfulness meditation, mindful of mind is very important. So it's important to mindful of every mental state, such as thinking, wandering mind, or unhappy, worried, or anger arising or during meditations. Even when you are not in the retreat, mindful of mind is still important. So even when you are not in the retreat, be mindful of unwholesome thoughts or evil thoughts arising in your daily life. If meditators could mindful of the mental states precisely, and especially mental defilements and mental hindrances, then meditators will find that the mindfulness becomes stronger and stronger. If meditators could not overcome defilements, mental hindrances by mindfulness, it shows that the mindfulness is still not yet strong. So when meditators mindful of mental hindrances, such as sleepiness, mental drowsiness, or thinking, or restlessness, meditators have to be more mindful, put more effort, and note somewhat quick. Sometimes meditators may have to mindful and note the sleepiness many times. Meditators need to do it that way. So when meditators could mindful and note every sleepiness, eventually meditators may not have to note so many times. For example, at the beginning you may have to note, let's say, more than 20 times, sleepy, then sleepiness disappear, then again sleepiness arising again, you note it again. So when you could overcome the sleepiness through mindfulness, gradually you may not have to note so many times. You note less and less, and the sleepiness would disappear faster and faster than before. Besides being mindful of all the mental states arising during meditation, it's also important to mindful of the intention, the desires, or before every movement, every actions. Training oneself to mindful and note desire, intention before the actions and movements is one of the important aspects of practice in vipassana meditations. All physical movements and actions are preceded by intention and desire. For example, at the end of 1 hour sitting meditations, you may have the thoughts or wanting to stop or to stand up. So that one thing should be noted as desire. Then when you have this desire to stop or to stand up, you note desire. Then the next thing you should not move immediately. You should be more patient to slow down your movements. So then you might find that you want to open the eyes. So that opening of eyes is preceded by intention. Then you should mindful and note intending, then opening. Be mindful of the opening movements of the eyes. Then you may want to put down your hands, so that movements also preceded by intention. Then you should try to do one thing at each time. For example, intention. You lift out the hands slowly. Try to note in detail, lifting, or move to the side slowly, moving, or turning the palms, turn slowly, turning, putting down, perceiving the actual process of movements, touching. If your mindfulness is sharper, you may be able to perceive that there's an intention before every process of the movements. For example, there's an intention to put down the other hand, intending, lifting. Then you want to move to the side, there's an intention also, moving, slowly moving. Even you want to turn your palm, also preceded by intention, turning, intention, putting down, touching. So everything, every new action, new movements new process of movements is preceded by intention. So every actions begin with a desire. So is a desire to do an activities, then arising intentions, then there's a movement, then when one movement is completed, there will be arising an intention, then enough movements will begin. So sometimes meditators may be able to perceive the desire, but sometimes meditators may be perceiving the intention and the movements, intention and the movements. When meditators got mindful of the desire and the intention before the actions and movements, then meditators will come to realize the relationship between the desire and the intention and the following actions or movements. Meditators come to realize their relationship through their own experience. The desire is the wanting to begin an activity or actions. Intention usually refer to the movements, the immediate movement. So do you know what's the relationship between the intention and the following movements? Do you know what's the relationship between the intention and the following movements? Do you know what's the relationship following movements?
Following movement ขอประทานโทษ
So this is what I call the law of cause effect. It's because you have this intention to do. That's why there's this movements. You have this intention or desire. That's why this actions is happening. So this is what we call a karma. Karma is defined in the scriptures as cetana is karma. Cetana means intention or volitions or wanting to do. So if an action is intentionally done, then it will produce the results. So if the intention is to cause pain or suffering, then one will begin to plan what the actions to be carried out, how to be carried out, so that the others would suffer pain.
The intention.
So they say the intention is to cause pain or suffering. Then one would begin to plan what should be done and how to be carried out, so that the others will experience pain or suffering. Intention is to cause pain, suffering.
Yes.
So one begins to plan, make the planning in the mind.
To plan.
Then he plans that what should be done, what should be carried out,
yes.
How to be carried out, so that the others would experience pain and suffering. So then once the action is being carried out, then others may experience pain or suffering because of these actions. In other words, one see the result of one's actions. So eventually one also will experience the same result of one's actions. Eventually one also experience the same results of one action. There's pain and suffering. First others would experience pain and suffering because of his actions. Then eventually he also will experience the same result of that action. There's pain and suffering. So this is what we call unwholesome karma, or that causes pain and suffering. So eventually one also experience the results of that action, result of the pain and suffering. But if one has good intentions or one desire to see other to be happy, or then one may doing something good so that the others would experience happiness. Then eventually one would also experience the pleasant results, or that happiness. So if one wants to know whether one's action is wholesome or evil, one should examine one's mind. One should examine one's intention and whether that intention is defiled by greed, hatred, delusions, or other defilements. One may examine whether one's intention is not defiled, but due to feeling of loving kindness, compassion, or generosity, wisdom. So if one has the habit of mindful of the mind, be mindful of the intention, desires during retreats, then later on one also has the habit to mindful of the mind, the intentions in daily life. In that way, one would be able to abstain or restrain from unwholesome actions. It's because one comes to realize the law of cause-effect through experience during meditation. So when one could abstain from unwholesome actions and one could direct the mind towards wholesome actions, then one would experience or enjoy a lot of happiness and welfare or well-being. So such welfare and happiness experienced through wholesome actions or well-directed mind is better than what your parents or relatives can do for you. So the well-directed mind explained in the text as the mind directed to 10 kinds of wholesome karma or wholesome deeds. So do you know what are the 10 kinds of wholesome karma? So they are the first 3 mentioned in the text very often, dana, sila, bhavana, or the practice of giving, sharing, or generosity, or sila, observance of moral conduct, bhavana, mental culture, or mental developments. The 4th is reverence or respects. Respects your parents, your elders, your teachers. Then 5th is service in helping others or helping the poor and so on. Then number 6 is sharing of merits, and number 7 is rejoicing over the merits done by others. Number 8 is listening to the Dharma. Number 9 is the teaching of Dharma or the preaching of the Dharma. Then the last wholesome karma is strengthening one's will or ditti jukama. It means the ditti jukama. In other words, when one has wrong will, then one should correct it, straighten it. That's the meaning. So now we are here to do wholesome deeds. There's observance of 9 precepts and bhavana. So you should direct all your effort to this wholesome deeds or wholesome karma. And the ill-directed mind, the text explained as the mind that is directed to 10 kinds of evil deeds or unwholesome karma. The ill-directed mind, as explained in the text, is the mind that is directed to 10 kinds of unwholesome karma or evil deeds. The first 3 unwholesome karma are unwholesome physical actions or evil deeds. They are killing or taking what is not given or sexual misconduct. Then the next 4 unwholesome karma are evil speech, or 4 kinds of evil speech. They are telling lies, or divisive speech, or in other words, speech that cause disharmony or discord between 2 good friends, 2 parties. The third evil speech is a harsh speech, and the fourth is gossip or idle chatter. Then the last 3 unwholesome karma are unwholesome mental karma or unwholesome mental conducts. They are thoughts of ill will, or then covetousness and wrong will.
Patika.
The first is thoughts of ill will. The second is covetousness. Covet means one like to covet what belong to others. For example, one thing in the mind, or how nice if this beautiful car is mine. Then the third unwholesome karma is wrong will. Covetousness. Yes. Covetousness means a person has this greedy mind, like to covet the properties belong to others. For example, he see a beautiful car, he thought, how nice it is belong to me, or he see something beautiful, he thought, how nice it is belong to me. So wrong will, for example, one does not believe that there's any results of fruits in giving and sharing with others. Wrong will also includes that one doesn't believe the law of cause and effect. So one doesn't believe that one doing good, one will receive good results. One doing evil or bad, one will receive bad results or reap the bad results. Wrong will also includes that one does not believe that there's this world, there's other world. In other words, one does not believe in rebirth. Wrong will also includes that one thinks that there's no mother, no father. The meaning is that one thinks that whatever conducts, good conducts or bad conducts towards one's mother, father, there's no results. Or sometimes children ignore their parents, or when their parents getting old and needs the support of children, but children pretend not to know. Then wrong will also includes that one does not believe that there are beings who are born spontaneously, for example, the Deva or the Brahma. Wrong will also includes one does not believe that there are Brahmins or ascetics who have realized by direct knowledge and declare that there's this world and other world. So here actually refer to Samma Sambuddha and Arahant who have realized by direct knowledge, and they could declare that there's this world and other world. So this the wrong will. So if one strengthen one's will, then one's doing a wholesome karma. So if anyone in any society or in the country, in the world, could direct the mind to doing wholesome karma and restrain from unwholesome karma or evil karma, then this world will be a peaceful world. So whatever an enemy or might do to an enemy, or a foe to a foe, the ill-directed mind can do to you even worse. And whatever a mother, father, or other kinsman might do for you, the well-directed mind can do to can do for you even better. So that's why it's important that everyone has to take care of one's mind. The Buddha always say, Tathagata only show you the way. You yourself have to strive. So you yourself have to strive to purify your mind. No one can purify your mind. So I wish that may all of you always be heedful to the teaching, striving diligently, so that your mind always directed to all kinds of wholesome karma, and eventually you also could realize the truth, the Dharma, and attain enlightenment.